Welcome to the International Sports Hall of Fame. Dr. Robert Goldman is the founder and chairman of the Hall of Fame and is the sole funder and sponsor of this annual event. The Hall does not accept any commercial sponsorship, and none of the attendees or media pay fees to attend. Dr. Goldman has been a strong supporter of the Arnold Sports Festival since its inception. He was the chief doctor for bodybuilding and fitness worldwide in 190-plus nations and chairman of the IFBB and NPC medical committees for decades. Dr. Goldman is not only the sole sponsor of the Hall of Fame event, he has also sponsored the Arnold Sports Film Festival, the Highland Games, USA Arm Wrestling, and the Martial Arts event and America's Next Great Trainer competition. Dr. Goldman also donated the 800-pound bronze statue of Arnold Schwarzenegger to the city of Columbus. The statue stands in front of the Columbus Convention Center, home of the Arnold Sports Festival. Dr. Goldman is a world-class athlete himself. He is an upper-level black belt martial artist and holds over 20 world strength and endurance records, including 361 consecutive handstand push-ups and 13,500 consecutive sit-ups. Dr. Goldman is listed in the Guinness World Book of Records for his remarkable athletic accomplishments.
Welcome, everybody, to the International Sports Hall of Fame. First, we're going to introduce the co-founder of the Arnold Sports Festival, Mr. Jim Armour, who has developed this remarkable weekend with everybody. Jim Armour.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. This is by far the largest sports festival we have ever held. There's more than 20,000 athletes here this weekend, again competing in more than 50 events in 2 great venues. But one of the things we've been most proud of in recent years is this International Hall of Fame, founded 4 years ago by Dr. Bob Goldman. Now, Dr. Bob Goldman is one of the leading men in the field of fitness and health worldwide. And he is the founder of this. He has a tremendous advisory committee of people who work with him throughout the year. And these last few years, they have recognized some truly, truly great people in the field of fitness and health. And this year we have one of the best groups we've ever had. Bob works on this all year to get these great talents together. And we appreciate extremely much what Bob Goldman does for the health industry and for the Arnold Fitness Weekend and recognizing these great champions. So, Bob, take it there.
Thank you, Jim. The International Sports Hall of Fame, it was founded to recognize truly remarkable individuals who are world leaders and world champions, but not only for being inducted into the respective Hall of Fames. Many of these individuals and our past inductees are already in the NBA, NFL, UFC, bodybuilding, martial arts, mixed martial arts, WWE, World Hall of Fames. They're already in Hall of Fames, but this, in essence, is the Hall of Fame of all Hall of Fames. And even if you're the greatest athlete in the world in a particular sport, we may only pick someone from that sport once every 5 years, so it's very difficult. But the key issue that distinguishes these individuals, not only as great champions, but how they give back to society, how they mentor young children, how they contribute to the world. The International Sports Hall of Fame headquarters are at the University of Texas, Austin. It's the world's largest physical culture museum, and the photographs and medals and posters and all are in perpetuity at that museum honoring these great people. We had a competition of over 200 artists to create internationally this International Hall of Fame logo. And as you can see from these medallions, they're 2.5 pounds, hand-carved, and coated in 18-karat gold. So this will probably be the largest medals that even these great champions have gotten. They also each receive the gold label, the inductee label, the cufflinks, and things so they can make their own pretty jackets, just like we have here. Now we're going to start with A quick thank you to our advisory board, our global advisory board, Dr. Tom Allen, Sheikh Abdul, the Olympic Council of Bahrain, Randy Couture, UFC world champion, Dr. Nick Danubli, orthopedic surgeon for the NBA Philadelphia Sixers, Dr. Edward DeRose, the International Olympic Commission, Robert Fletcher, America's Next Great Trainer, Dr. Rafael Santoka, IFBB President, Alan Goldberg, Martial Arts Hall of Honors Chairman, Stedman Graham, Mark Henry, WWE World Champion and World's Strongest Man, Dr. Ronald Klatz, founder of NESM, Jim Lorimer, co-founder of this event, Dr. Joe Maroon, teen surgeon for the NFL Pittsburgh Steelers, Earl the Pearl Monroe, NBA Hall of Famer, Jim Mannion, president of the NPC and IFBB Pro League, Sheikh Makan, Salat world champion, Dan O'Malley, professional boxer, Sean Perrine, editor-in-chief of Muscle and Fitness, Dr. Tom Rasandish, former U.S. founder of the U.S. Sports Academy, Dr. Rana Ramat, president of Asia Fitness Professionals Association, Bruno Sammartino, WWE Hall of Fame, Dr. James Stockton, founder Team Doctors, Dr. Terry Todd and Dr. Jan Todd, running the powerlifting and men's strongest competition, Dr. Min Zhu, chairman of the Olympic Council of China, Sir David Webster with the strongman competition, Fairfax Hackley, who is my right arm year-round, daily, every day we speak on putting this all together. Thank you so much, Hack, for staying with it every single day with me. And, of course, our leader and our hero, Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. Give it up for us. We're going to start now with the first inductee. The first inductee I've had the pleasure of knowing over 20 years. Ed Cohen is widely regarded as probably the greatest powerlifter in history. He has over 70 world records in powerlifting. He became the lightest person to cross that 2,400-pound barrier in the summer of 3 lifts, deadlift, bench, and squat. He set all-time powerlifting records at 2,463 pounds. Ed is not only a legend in powerlifting, but what Ed is also very well known for is the time and energy and effort he puts into mentoring young children. Ed, come up for your award. Now, Ed's got one of the biggest necks aside from Mark Henry, so he's going to be able to handle this medal, okay?
Gotta get it over my head.
There we go. Yeah, see, he's got that neck like Mark. Let's say a few words.
Sure, just a few. First, I'd like to thank Dr. Bob, Dr. Stockton, everyone that nominated me to be in this position. It's incredible. Thank you, Arnold and Mr. Lorimer, for such an unbelievable event. Just to be associated with you guys is a dream come true. The other athletes that are up here, I've only seen most of you guys on TV or read about you in a magazine, so be amongst you and one of you is actually truly an honor. It's the pinnacle of my powerlifting career. Everyone else that I've only seen it's on TV and stuff, this is amazing. I'm overwhelmed. The other people I thank, of course, I like to thank my mom and dad because they made everything possible. They let me be the goofball and self-absorbed little idiot that I was as a kid to do this. My sister came and brother-in-law, my girlfriend Hega, by far the best thing I got out of powerlifting. I had to go overseas to find a girlfriend. But besides all the other awards, the world titles and whatever world records, they don't mean that much to me. The journey I've had competing for 28 years, I've got friends from other countries that I'd never, ever give up for anything. And the other awards, everything, they don't mean anything. It's all about the journey. After you're done, I don't think you really realize it while you're in it, but after you're done, you really, really appreciate the good people in your life. And after some of the surgeries and muscle tears and all the aches and pains, they're gone today. You guys made it all gone, and I want to truly, truly thank you for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Ed Cohen. Next inductee. Truly, truly remarkable individual, dear friend, and one of the real Renaissance men out there. Michael J. White is not only a world-famous movie star, athlete, accomplished martial artist, holding 8 different black belts in different styles. Michael started martial arts training at the age of 8. He is world-renowned movie star. He played the first black superhero in Spawn in the movie industry. Michael's career has evolved over the years to where now he's not only an actor, director, producer. He's really just a real, true Renaissance man with the things and talents that he has. He's got a new movie called Skin Trade, which will be out this year, and he's due to start his next movie with his beautiful wife, Gillian. And he was chosen by Black Belt Magazine as the Martial Artist of the Year and considered by many to be the greatest living martial artist in the world today. But most importantly about Michael is that he always takes the time to teach. He is a lifelong teacher. He's a lifelong student and a lifelong teacher. And I'm very honored to have him as my friend and to honor him on the stage today. Michael J. White. And he only has to hit you once, and you're down. And out. Michael J.
Well, thank you all. I am so honored to be here, and I thought we were going to go in order, so I thought I'd have some time to figure out what I was going to say. But it's kind of amazing being here. It's surreal. I'm here amongst. I see so many heroes that to me comprise what I am. Actually, I mean, when I see Mr. Schwarzenegger here, Governor Schwarzenegger, I think about when I first, when I was 14. I'm at a community center right in the heart of the ghetto, and they showed Pumping Iron, and that movie changed my life. Not only did I recognized someone with this confidence that just leapt from the screen, and I'm like, who is that guy? I want to be like that guy. It changed my life when I saw this man speak, and then I found out that there was another competitor in the movie by the name of Mike Katz, who he was from Connecticut, where I lived. And I sought him out, and he became the first person who taught me anything about weights. I would travel about 15 miles every day to go train at Mike Katz's gym. And one thing led to another, and here I am. I cannot believe this. Thank you so much for honoring me here and, receiving me. And thank everyone that stops and says that I make a difference. I'm just amazed. I think I'm one of the luckiest people on the planet. And all I can do is think about giving back right now because I'm just so amazingly and abundantly lucky. Thank you.
Now we continue the walk of superstars. Evander Holyfield, 5-time world boxing champion.
Don't sit down.
I'm glad that this guy was able to walk through the room. Evander, by the time he graduated high school, he was one of the highest-ranked amateur boxers. He went to the Olympics, won medals at the Olympics, continued on after the Olympics, turning pro, winning his first 2 fights as a light heavyweight by decision. It took him less than a year to win 7 fights, 6 of them by early round knockout, and earn the right to fight for the world title. Went on to become IBF belt winner, WBC crown champion, the undisputed champion of the world. Evander's domination of the cruiserweight division was so overwhelming. To this day, he's still the only undisputed cruiserweight champion, but his image now permanently adorns the championship belts in perpetuity. Evander then rocked the boxing world by winning his first 6 fights by knockout as a heavyweight. So this is multiple divisions, truly remarkable. Became the #1 contender in 1990, and it took Evander only 3 rounds to become the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. He would then go on to regain his titles twice more, becoming the 5-time world champion. But here again, the important part that makes Evander a candidate for the International Sports Hall of Fame, his humanitarian efforts through the Evander Holyfield Foundation, what he does for children, the time he takes to mentor young boxers and what he does for charities and for the children of the world. Let's give it up for Evander Holyfield. I don't have to worry about anybody holding this medal today.
Nice.
First of all, I'm honored to be here and accept this award, and I'd like to give all praise to the Lord of my life, Lord Jesus Christ, and I like to say this is, you know, I'm honored because the fact of the matter, when I was 8 years old, and my mama told me, said, never be prejudiced, son, because if you prejudice, it limits your opportunity when you're going to be successful. And so she told me that at the age of 8 years old, I went to the boys club. There's a man named Carter Morgan, just happened to be white. And he told me I could be like Muhammad Ali. And so in the fact that he told me that, he asked me, what do I think? I told him I had to ask my mama. And he looked at me. He said, your mama? I said, yes, sir. He said, you got a good mama. And so I, as a kid, said, he don't even know my mama. But I realized that he knew that to be successful, you have to have a support group. And so I'm honored because when I went home and asked my mama, she said, you could, son. She said, if you listen, follow direction, and not quit, you could be like Muhammad Ali. And so, and the fact is that I went back and told my mama, said I could be like Muhammad Ali. And he said one thing to me. He said, son, you got to fight next week. I looked at him because the fact of the matter, we ain't did nothing yet. And he said this. He said, son, I need to explain something to you. He said, I ain't got that much time, because he was 6 to 8 years old. He said, I ain't got that much time now. If this is a goal or a fantasy. He said, now, goal, when you want to be something, you work at it. A fantasy, when you want to be something and not work at it. He said, goal to fantasy. I said, go. Okay, get up there in the ring. And said, this is how it started. My first fight, he said, you see that kid right there? I said, yes, sir. He said, when that bell ring, I want you to run out as fast as you can and hit him in the nose. You understand that? And I said, yes, sir. And I looked at the kid, and his coach told him to hit me in my nose. So you know what? The bell ring, I ran out there, and that kid ran out there, and all of a sudden, the kid closed his eyes. I didn't close my eyes because I seen him close his. I hit him right in the nose. And he started crying. The referee stopped the fight. And my coach came in and said, you took your first step of being the heavyweight champion of the world. So I sit here today and said I'm honored to receive this award because there's other people out there can be successful too if they just have someone to tell them three things. Listen, follow direction, and not quit. Thank you very much.
One of the greatest bodybuilders of all time, Linda Murray. Linda and I go back to the 80s when she was competing in the Miss Olympia, 8-time Miss Olympia. Unbelievable. She just kept winning and winning. She retired from competitive bodybuilding for 5 years and returned to the stage in 2002 at the age of 40, came back and won 2 more times in a row consecutively, breaking the world, breaking the record, becoming the greatest bodybuilder of all time at that stage in life. She has appeared on hundreds of TV and radio shows, numerous issues of Muscle and Fitness, Flex, Shape magazines, Muscle and Fitness dubbed Linda the shape of things to come. She's not only a remarkable athlete, but the thing that, again, that makes Linda so special is what kind of person she is. She always takes the time through her whole career, as long as I know her, to really teach others, help others. Always one of the kindest, nicest, most modest people around in the field of bodybuilding, and one of the hottest, Linda Murray. And she can handle this too.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much. So blessed. You know, every time I get the opportunity to stand at a mic, I have to always remember who comes first. And I want to thank God, who is the head of my life. Yes, honored. Such a blessing. I want to thank my husband. We will be married for 19 years on March 9th. And thank you, baby. I don't know where you are, but sometimes we forget, you know. I mean, he's been with me through thick and through thin. And I love you dearly, baby. Thank you so much for carrying my bags and everything. Thank you. And thanks to all of my friends. And most importantly, I want to really thank you so much, Dr. Goldman, for including me in this awesome lineup. You know, I started as a cheerleader in high school, cheerleader for 4 years at Western Michigan University, where I graduated with my Bachelor of Science degree. 2 years as a professional cheerleader with the USFL, the second, I think, most successful football organization outside the NFL. And during that time, I had no idea that, didn't know a lot about bodybuilding, but, you know, I did all of the pom-pom and the rah-rah and being defined as to what women, you know, being small. So I was trying to be have the look of a bikini competitor. Had no idea that one day that I had, you know, so much more in my future. And my girlfriends at the time, they said, "What are you doing? Why are you trying to be muscular? Why are you trying to get a six-pack?" And what I want to say is that, you know, women, I want to empower women, that we decide what we want to look like, who we are, what we are. If you want muscles, you can have muscles. You know? If you want to be sexy, the boobs, the whole 9 yards. It is up to us. And I'm so proud, so honored that you included me in this, because I think that, you know, women, we rock. We rock. Yes, we do. Yes, and Arnold, really, honestly, truly, thank you so much. You know, I see you going by and passing and moving, and you really didn't have to do this. And your commitment to Jim Lorimer, staying here in Columbus and making everybody around the world come here. Yes, you didn't have to do this. I thank you so much. I really do. And thank you, guys. Thank you. Yay.
Gahan Wilson is widely regarded as the greatest kickboxing champion in history. He is known outside the world also as a movie star with over 40 internationally released action movies. Upcoming in 2015, his newest movie, The Martial Arts Kid, will debut this year, and he was recently in The Scorpion King 4. Don entered the international stage as the first kung fu practitioner to win a world kickboxing title. He got the nickname The Dragon from his White Dragon kung fu style. Over the next decade and a half, he won 11 world titles in 4 different weight divisions from 5 different sanctioning fighting bodies. Along the way, he defeated 13 other world champions, amassing an amazing record of 73, 5-2, 49 by KO. His 61.2% knockout average remains slightly better than boxing's greatest Muhammad Ali at 60.7 average. He's also listed in the Guinness World Book as the most acknowledged and greatest kickboxer in history with the most world titles. My buddy, Don the Dragon Wilson. I got to give you a...
Right for the microphone. And you know what? They had a meeting with me last night at dinner, admitted, where they were warning me that I only have 5 minutes up there. You only got 5 minutes, and we're going to pull you up.
He can knock people out, and he can talk.
Yeah.
So let's stay on schedule.
I don't even need the microphone. Okay, where's my person that's going to do this and tell me to... first, I asked my brother. I'd like to thank Governor Schwarzenegger and Dr. Goldman for the honor. I'm very happy to receive this. I'm not going to go through every single fight in my career, but I am going to go over 2 fights in my career which kind of sum up everything for me. My very first fight was in 1974. I had a 28-year career, by the way, 74 to 2002. That first fight was one of the first fights in the history in America. We fought on a concrete floor. Now, as boxers know, when you get knocked out, you're not out when you hit the ground. You're out before. And thank God nobody knew how to knock anybody out in 1974 kickboxing. Nobody got knocked out, but we fought on a concrete floor, and I was paid $100. I broke my hand. It cost me more than that to set it. So I lost the fight, lost money, and I loved it. And I knew I had found my place in the world in kickboxing. And now I'm going to skip all the other fights that we were talking about. I won most of them. We'll go right to my last fight. My last fight was 2002 at the Tropicana, Atlantic City. Guess this thing is wearing my neck down. I'm in the Tropicana. I had broken my rib in training, but I was not going to cancel the fight. In my 28-year career, I never canceled out a fight. I was going to start on my last fight. So I get in the ring. I fight the guy 9 rounds. I've got Bill Slayton, who used to be Ken Norton's trainer, in my corner. I use boxing trainers. They're more experienced than the kickboxing trainers I found. And I had Pat Goosen, who was Michael Nunn's trainer. And I looked at Bill Slayton, and I said, Bill, am I winning this fight? And he looks at me, and he looks at the floor. And I said, Pat, I got nervous. I said, Pat, am I winning? He said, look at that audience. He said, if they give him the decision, there ain't going to be no booing. It was his audience. It was Atlantic City. I had never fought there. And so he said, it's the 10th round. You got to knock him out. I was 48 years old. I got up off the stool, and I went across there, and I knocked him out. When they announced the fight, they said with 4 seconds left on the clock, winner by knockout. That was my last fight, and so I wasn't the best, but I was the luckiest. Thank you.
Paul Triple H Levesque. Triple H, 13-time world champion, WWE's executive vice president for talent, live events, and creative. In this role, he oversees talent relations for the WWE worldwide for their live global events. And by the way, his category is not only as an athlete, but as an executive and as a sports official, because every year we pick somebody who is not only an athlete, but also an executive. And this is another talent and plus for his being inducted this time. As director and producer, he works to shape many of the creative programming and storylines for WWE programming. He has overseen the new performance center that they built in Orlando, Florida. He's helped to expand the WWE's global presence to more countries than ever before. Under his guidance, the WWE reached new milestones, holding live events in Abu Dhabi, Russia, Egypt, Brazil, all for the first time. In the second quarter of 2014, the WWE held 54 live events, 23 internationally, entertaining approximately 356,000 fans. Paul debuted as a WWE superstar in 1995. To this day, he still is in the ring, and our Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger will be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame this year as well. Congratulations for that. Triple H has captured every major championship headlined at thousands of WWE events and entertained millions of people around the world. And again, the important part about Paul is the giving back to society, the mentoring of young children, doing charity events, and really trying to make this world a much better place. Triple A. And we know for sure this is nothing for you. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, this is a close fit. No.
It's a weird fashion accessory. I made some notes of what I wanted to say up here, but listening to that, wow, I'm humbled to be on this stage with amazing people, amazing champions that transcended their profession, their sport, and became more than it just being about themselves. Became more to the world around them, to their community, to kids, and made a difference. The common theme I heard up here today is just everybody was inspired by somebody or something. Everybody should leave here with that today, because it's that inspiration that we have to pass on to others. I sit in this room today humbled to be here with a group that I grew up watching and was inspired by, with Ed and Linda, all of you. Evander, I see here Lee Haney in the front row, amazing to me. Mark Henry coming into this Hall of Fame before me as an Olympian and a champion in his own right, and I watch the things he does with youth and giving back. Randy, everybody that's here, it's inspiring to me still to this day. And then, of course, Governor Schwarzenegger, the ultimate inspiration probably for the majority of the people that are here at some point in time, and probably everybody on this stage, and certainly for me, as a kid, reading his story in The Education of a Bodybuilder, and realizing that if you set a path for yourself and you have a goal, as Evander said, the difference is it being a goal. And what are you going to do to get that goal? When I read the story of him riding his bike through the Austrian winter to get to the little dungeon of a gym to train, or giving up time with his friends to go train, doing the things he wanted to go do but gave them up to go train because he had a goal and a desire, and walking out of the military to go compete, and the sacrifice that you make. And that's what it's about, the sacrifice. But that sacrifice to be successful inspires others. And that's really what everybody on this stage is here for, because they inspire others. They inspire others to greatness. And, that is what it is all about. And I'd like to, especially for just a second, say thanks to Linda, because I've got 3 little girls. And not you, Mark. He's not with me. But I've got 3 little girls. You transcended a sport. You transcended to just being an athlete. Made it possible for women to be more. That's awesome. Arnold's path made it possible for me to go to the WWE. When I got there, I looked at Vince McMahon, who is now my father-in-law. And my boss. Sometimes that's great, sometimes it's not. Trust me. But I looked him in the eye and I said, all I'm looking for is an opportunity. I'll do the rest. He gave me that opportunity. So for that, I say thank you to Vince McMahon. Thank you for my mom and dad for making it possible for me to be here. Thank you to my wife couldn't do any of this without her support. You have to have that support system, right? And these three little girls right here, Aurora, Murphy, and Vaughn. The greatest thing in my life. Thank you, and I just want to take one more moment just to say thank you to Arnold for being the inspiration, for being the leader, just the light, the guiding light for all of us to see that you could create a path for yourself and be anything that you wanted to be in life. Arnold Schwarzenegger truly is the American dream. And it's, for me personally, humbling just to be on stage with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, I would just like to say that, as you've heard, that inspiration leads to great things. Leave here today, be an inspiration. Don't leave here and just go, that was cool, I saw Arnold. That was cool, I saw Evander Holyfield, or, walked through the expo and had some cool things. Let this be a turning point. Let this be the start. If you're not already on it, let this be the start of your path. What is your goal? And make part of that goal to be an inspiration, to give back, so that 20 years from now, we have a generation of superstars and of legendary athletes standing on this stage saying that they were inspired by others in this room. Thank you very much for this honor. Thank you, Dr. Bob.
There's a reason why we're all here. Not only here, but now on all 6 continents, there is now going to be Arnold Sports Festivals. It is truly remarkable to be so lucky to have any interaction with a true historical figure. And Governor Schwarzenegger is probably not only the most charismatic individual I've ever met in my life, but an inspiration just with everything he does. And people just want to be like him, be near him, and to just be involved with anything that he's involved in. The reason the International Sports Hall of Fame is here every single year, it's because of Governor Schwarzenegger, and to have him on this stage every year. And we really appreciate you taking the time out from 200,000 people to be here every year. And you're my hero, you're everybody's hero here, and you do the great close.
Thank you very much, Bob. But first of all, I hope that everyone paid attention to his outfit. Because when everyone has 3 buttons here on the sleeve, Bob has to have 6. If everyone has buttons that you barely see, Bob has to have them in gold. And then look at his shoes. Look at his buttons and the thing, and his tie, and the whole thing like this. And the little stripes on the pockets, you see that? So you see it. Everything has to be noticed and seen with Bob. You look studly. Unbelievable. Let's give him a big hand just for looking studly. How about the watch? Show him the watch. Look at this. He has the biggest watch. Anyway, as big as his watch is, this is as big as his heart is. Because Bob is one of those people that what we are really celebrating here, which is he doesn't think about himself, he thinks about others. It's never about me, it's about we. That's the way it is with Bob. And he always thinks about how can we celebrate great performances by athletes. And at the same time, how can we find those great athletes that are the greatest in their sport, but at the same time they give back and they serve the people. Each and every one of those athletes that you see sitting here has done exactly that. And so this is why I just wanted to come up here and say thank you to all of you for giving back. You've been great champions, but there's many great champions that have been there in the past. but to give back and to have such an unbelievable impact on people out there, not just in America, but all over the world, because you're world athletes, world champions. So this is what makes them so great, because this is what the United States is all about. I became great in the United States because of the United States, because it's the land of opportunity. And there's one thing that the United States is known for, is for how much it gives as a country. The United States is always about giving, 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 and giving, and creating opportunities for everybody. And this is exactly what these people here represent. Giving, 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 and inspiring other people to be great. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Guys, for the team together.